Hey everybody. So, as you can see, I got the vertical camera animation going, and it's pretty cool. The effect I wanted to kind of build out here was that you're sort of rising up over the top of like a fence or something, and I just can't help. For me, it feels like the instead of it feeling like you're rising over a fence, it feels like it's rotating towards you. Um, but I imagine now, whenever I watch TV and I see sort of vertical um, animations all like this, where they're kind of peeking over something, I'll pay close attention to subtle details. Like, I made sure to have a ground that was visible, so like the ground doesn't look like it's rotating, but this thing back here kind of looks like it's rotating. That's the back wall, and the ground connected to the back wall. And to be honest, this exact same situation would work just like that. Like in real life, it would be just like that. As you, so here's where you can't see anything past the fence, and then here's where you sort of rise over the top and look at the fence. But that coding it was super easy. Um, it was all everything that I did made sense, and that's always a good feeling. Um, I think that it looks like there was one interface change. Oh, yeah, which is the one you would expect. I just basically said Y position for the perspective camera interface, and for the orthographic camera interface was converted to a animation property descriptor. And I had tried, my initial plan was just to do perspective and then maybe tomorrow do orthographic, but TypeScript really would not let me do that. It was like, hey, if you're going to update Y position, it needs during the, for the animation loop, um, it has to work for both orthographic and perspective, which I think is good, and it kind of speaks to that self healing I was talking about, where it's like maybe this I'll just have this little bubble of dual code, but then on both sides of the bubble, it'll be um, like I'm just dealing with one kind of camera, and that kind of played itself out, and that is awesome. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You just never can tell. Let's see. So the in the service, let's start with the service. So in the service, okay. So what's different about this than the mesh and the light, and I've mentioned this several times, is the cameras are created in the service, unlike the meshes and the animations, which are created in the component. So basically, this is something I would have had to do in the component before, but when I create a new camera item, needed to, and I initialize it. That initialization happens in the service, and then same thing in the setup. Uh, the camera, when I set it up, I need to get the information from the start position, not from, and that makes sense. And I think that is equivalent to with the meshes and the other one. And then this is basically for orthographic, so I have sort of the dual code there. And then let's see, what is this? This is an update camera. So when I get the information back, uh, and I'm going to add it into the actual physical perspective camera, um, this is where I need to get it from. Um, and then when I place it, this is where I need to place it. So let's just hit the next. Okay, so then this is the update camera for time method. And basically I just added the Y to it, which makes sense. You know, of course you'd have to add Y, and then I set the Y. So let's go in here. Basically, all I had to do is update this structure, this dictionary that determines what shows up when you hit these downloads. So like, there's no C isn't implemented, so there's no camera in there, but it is implemented for X, and it's implemented for Y. So that made total sense. It's like to the point of boredom. Same here. This is in the form, and this was a lot less work in the form than I had to do for meshes and cameras, because in meshes, I mean meshes and lights, because in meshes and lights, they the actual camera or the actual items are created there. So that all that was done in the service this time. And then same exact. Oh, in the this is for in here when you show the raw data, so it shows the right data instead of just the word object. And then over here in the perspective form, very similar to the other forms we looked at. And that's about that, you know. So yeah. So basically, what we have over here is like let's see, we have like 4 meshes, I think. Let's see. Let's close this. So we have the back wall. That's this guy back here. The ball itself. That's the thing we're looking at there. The ground, which is here, and the front wall. And you know what? I'm going to try changing. Maybe if I change the ground to a basic instead of a Phong. I don't know. See, that still doesn't quite work. Because, see, to me, it looks like this is sinking into water right now, as opposed to changing perspective that we're looking up over it. But, anyways, that was kind of the whole point of this. I believe there's 2 lights in this. Yeah, there's a light. This is the light that's over the ball. So if I change like the Y position of this light to 1, you know, then we're closer to it. I think 1 is actually touching it, 1.2. And then, oh, that's 12, 1.2. Yeah, so the light's getting closer and farther from it. And then there's this light that's basically where the camera starts. So I don't know what happens if I change this to like 3. So that, yeah, so now it's right. The light's right in front of that. Now it's not following the camera. See what happens if I make it animated. I haven't tried this, so we'll see. Animated, so that basically the light is gonna. What I want is for the light to do exactly whatever the camera is doing. So 5, and then let's go to the X 0, 0. We're good on that one, and then let's go to Z. I think that needs to be 0, 0. So now basically the light is following the camera, and that's pretty cool. I still don't think it feels like we're actually rising up. It feels more like things are sinking into the water. I don't know though, because the actual ball itself seems right. But so next, it's kind of funny because up to here it was very frenetic. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and now next I'm just going to do the Z, and that's going to be super simple. I think that'll go as easy as this one. I think that whole thing took me about 8 or 9 minutes to code, and then Z will probably take 8 or 9 minutes to code again, and then after that on the camera. Right now, it just stays trained at 0, but I would like to animate the look at. So right now, I would love for wherever this thing is looking at, so to be animated. So like I could say right now, look at 2, and see now it's looking right up here. It's just above because this ball is at 0, 0, 0. And I think maybe to get some of those where it feels like it's actually the camera's actually moving as opposed to whatever we're looking at is moving. Maybe the what you're looking at has to stay locked up or whatever. But anyways, that's right at 10 minutes. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.